So Jaylon Smith, welcome to Torn.
When you go through serious adversity and you have to decide whether you want to persevere or not, it's all about feeding positive things into your subconscious mind. So,
sure, this is Jaylon Smith's worst nightmare.
Life has a way of bringing you to your knees.
Some question whether or not he'll ever be the same. How do you make that kind of decision?
And sometimes it happens when the entire world is watching.
Hello?
Jaylon, this is Jerry Jones with the Dallas Cowboys.
how you doing, Jerry Jones?
Well, we're doing fine, and it's great to be talking to a Dallas Cowboy.
Pain is a part of life. There is no victory without a fight.
An unbelievable shot from Jaylon Smith. That is so perfectly clean. The speed of Jaylon Smith to just beat him to the corner and save the count.
I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I appreciate you taking the time, out of your day to come on. It's not every day I also get to interview someone from our hometown of Fort Wayne, Indiana. So welcome.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me, Mark.
Yeah,
Just excited to be here, man, and chop it up. You're good buddies with my partner
That's
and
right.
CEO, Jamal Robinson, our eyewear line, Clear Eye View, CEV
That's right.
collection. So he's talked great things about you, man. So excited to be here.
I
Fort
appreciate
Wayne
it.
native. So, I'm actually home right now. So catching this breeze.
That's right. That's right. So let's start. I work with athletes recovering from ACL reconstruction day in and day out. And, I want to get into the specifics of your injury, here in a second. But, I also want to take a step back and appreciate the kind of the psychological side for a second and just honor you with, the grit, the determination, the mindset and perspective that you had from the injury itself all the way through your rehab and even throughout the NFL. It's inspiring for myself, for the athletes I work with. And I hope with, this interview that we can take away from this, if nothing else, that we shed some light on your story even a little bit more. And that for those going through ACL reconstructions themselves, whatever level, so, even professional level, college, high school, whatever that might be, that they take away from this, that they can kind of get through this as well.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate it, man. It's definitely an experience that going through it, it's something that it makes a man out of you. It challenges you. But yeah, I'm excited to speak more. Let's dive in.
I kind of want to start with how you grew up. Did you have, and I pride myself in this, having the capacity to do this myself. Did you have mentorship growing up, maybe even in football and then in your personal life as well?
I did actually. Michael Lito he became my mentor when I was about 14 years old.
Okay.
And currently he's actually my business advisor.
Very good.
He owns a family office for athletes who desire to be entrepreneurs,
Cool.
called Rise Sports Advisors.
Sure.
And for me being his first client, I've always wanted to be more than an athlete. I never wanted to be remembered as just being a great football player.
Yeah.
And from those times of training, he owned a sports training company in Fort Wayne, Indiana, called AWP, stands
Sure.
for Athletes with Purpose, which kind of transcended the sports atmosphere in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
And after he sold it and started Rise, I became his first client. And just the number one thing that he's taught me was just the ability to think, that it's okay to think before you react, before you make decisions.
Sure.
And that was the very first thing that I learned from him. I had another mentor, rest in peace, Eugene Parker, another Fort Wayne legend who was my agent, my sports agent. He died of cancer 3 weeks prior to me getting drafted. I was his last client.
Wow.
And from the time I was a baby, I knew he was going to be my agent.
Yeah.
His aunt is my grandmother.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he's arguably the greatest NFL agent in history. Represented Deion Sanders,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Emmitt Smith, Larry Fitzgerald, Curtis Martin, Ray Lewis, Rob Woodson, all
you
of these
name it.
guys, you know. But he taught me about value over cost,
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
Growing up in an environment, especially with how I grew up, you know, a lot of the mindset is, what is this going to cost? You know,
Hmm.
versus what's the value that I'm getting out of
Sure.
um, a certain endeavor. So being able to navigate that, those are two things from two of my mentors that I've learned. And in having mentorship, you have to seek it. You
Sure.
can't expect for them to
Come to you.
reach out and continuously pour into you if you're
Mhm.
not seeking them.
Sure.
And I learned that, and I still do that to this day with
Yeah.
all of my other mentors.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that because a lot of times, I wish I had a mentor and, where are they instead of kind of seeking them out yourself. So I think that's a fair point because a lot of people seek guidance like that and they just, you know, they're not going after it themselves. So do you think that your mentorship or the culmination of just your childhood influences, where you went to high school maybe, had the biggest influence on you going to Notre Dame?
I would say yes. I went to a Catholic high school and a Catholic college,
Hmm.
Bishop Brewers High School, and I'm a guy. I was like, number one player, the highest recruit to ever come out of Indiana,
Yeah.
number one linebacker in the country, Buckets Award winner for the nation's top linebacker.
Hmm.
I was the number three player in the country out of all positions in my class. So like I could have went anywhere.
Yeah.
And I had an older brother who was playing at Ohio State
Yeah.
at the time of me making my decision.
Hmm.
And probably had 30, 40 offers. But that offer that I got from Notre Dame, which they offered me, they were like my sixth or seventh offer.
Okay.
And it just hit different than all the other ones.
Sure.
My principal called me in the office at school. Everybody's my guidance counselor. Everybody
Yeah.
is just smiling. The whole energy is just different. And I'm like, I don't. Why are we acting? Why are y'all acting like this? Because I just got an offer from Notre Dame,
Sure.
and then I went to visit,
Yep.
and it all makes sense.
Okay.
So definitely a big influence, I would say. I have a few family members whose favorite team. I
Yeah.
have an uncle whose favorite team is Notre Dame.
Yep.
So I got to fulfill a lot of dreams in the inner Fort Wayne family, and it has me going there has transcended um, Fort Wayne talent to actually not only receive the Notre Dame offers, but to actually go there.
Start
You
to seek it
know,
out. Yeah.
yeah, like prior to me going to Notre Dame, it was like Tony Springman and Johnny Goodman,
Johnny Goodman. Yeah.
were like the only two guys that ever
Sure.
go to Notre Dame. A lot of guys in Fort Wayne have gone to Purdue, IU,
Hmm.
Michigan State, Ohio State, my
Sure.
brother, and a bunch of other guys. But me going to Notre Dame and having the success I had, as I think it's helped turn the tide. Drew Tranquil ended up switching and going to Notre Dame when he finally got the offer, and
Yeah.
he just signed an $18 million deal.
Yeah.
Like this
All
off
that.
season. Congrats to him. You know, my little Tay Tay is there right now.
Mhm.
A incoming freshman played at Northside. He's playing safety at Notre Dame right now, and Logan just got offered from Notre Dame. He's a senior at Snyder safety. He's gonna
Awesome.
play. He's actually a baseball guy, but he can
Okay.
do both.
Okay.
So he was signed to Vanderbilt, and Notre Dame offered him about 3 or 4 weeks
Sure.
ago, and So he just committed. He's gonna pay. He's gonna play, football and baseball at Notre Dame.
That's
So
awesome.
Brandon Logan is his name. Yep. So just excited to see,
Good.
how we continue to support and ride, man. I'm a big fan of guys from our city and our state staying in state,
Sure.
because Indiana's a basketball state, but we play football
That's
too,
right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Talk me through how do you think your 3 years at Notre Dame, you know, m- leading up to let's say leading up to the injury, how do you think your time at Notre Dame maybe versus if you had gone to another university prepared you in some way to deal with your injury better than you would have otherwise? Maybe
Well,
like the people you were
because
surrounded with, or
yeah,
yeah,
I would just say because I wanted to be, I wanted, I never wanted to be remembered as being just a great football player. Like I've always desired to be an entrepreneur since I was
yeah,
like 11 years old.
yeah,
And going to an institute like Notre Dame, which if you talk about the cream of the crop, the peak entities in sports in baseball is the New York Yankees.
mm-hmm,
In the NFL, it's the Dallas Cowboys, America's
mm-hmm,
team. In basketball, it's the Lakers, the Celtics.
yep,
Um, in college, it's Notre Dame football,
yeah,
like global entities.
yep,
I studied abroad my sophomore year in South Africa and was
mm-hmm,
walking down the street and somebody had a Notre Dame hat on. That's just,
cool, yeah.
so it kind of exposed me to understanding access.
Talk me through your faith is a big part of how grew up, how you live your life now. Talk me through how your faith was kind of tested immediately upon getting injured in that Fiesta Bowl, and then how that kind of, maybe grew up into the draft and beyond that.
So I had never been hurt my entire life before.
Yeah.
Um, and going into my junior year after, being a freshman All-American, being a second team All-American my sophomore year, and then, breaking out, first team All-American, Buckets Award winner, all of these high things, right? I'm going to be projected a top 3 pick in the draft.
Mm,
And that last game is a bowl game. There's 13 projected first rounders
sure,
playing in this game. Notre
sure.
Dame versus Ohio State. Mind
Yep,
you, my brother went to Ohio State.
right,
So,
right.
and then me being a Notre Dame captain and wanting to go out the right way,
Mhm,
because I know I'm going to leave after my junior season.
sure.
And no doubt in my mind that I believe that I was going to get hurt in that game. But if I had that, and a lot of people talk about if you had to go back, would you have played in that game?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it wasn't a thing prior to my
Yeah,
injury
sure.
for people being allowed to sit out of games.
Yep.
So all of these different things now where college kids are getting paid or they're opting out. Like the following year, when Christian McCaffrey was the first guy who
Yeah.
made a statement and said, "I'm not going to play,"
Mhm.
he mentioned my name. It's because of look at what happened to Jaylon Smith. So I call it the Jaylon Smith rule. I'm forever in history. But this was the first time that the game of football was ever taken away from me. Um, and it forced me to tap into my other qualities, capabilities. It slowed me down from a standpoint of I had to learn how to embrace each season that I was in. I had to learn how to embrace having the surgery. What is it, 4 or 6 weeks post-op?
Yeah.
My first day walking again was that very next day. It was on a Wednesday. That very next day was Thursday. I had to go to the NFL Combine, like in scorching pain the entire weekend.
Sure.
trying to keep a smile on my face, knowing that I'm the best player on the field, but I can't compete because I had this injury on New Year's Day.
Yep.
Surgery 6 days later, just perseverance.
Perseverance.
It helped me create my mantra, clear eye view, which stands for focus, vision, determined belief, and earned dreams.
Yeah.
A focused vision is all about having a laser beam focus on what you want to accomplish. A determined belief is all about a self-belief, understanding that there's others that believe in you.
Sure.
That faith in God, that He has your back.
Yep.
And then earned dreams is about how bad you want it. What work are you willing to put in to accomplish that goal? So if we relate my clear eye view, which is my core values, if we relate that to my process of getting back on the field, that focused vision was that laser beam focus. It was me like having a locked in mentality of like each day I'm going to attack this day. Mind you, I have peroneal nerve injury along with the ACL, LCL.
Yep.
So the peroneal nerve gave me drop foot, which
how long did you have
drop
that?
foot? So my nerve it didn't sever completely.
Yep.
But it severed a little bit, and it took a year. As we know, nerves are supposed to grow back a millimeter a day, which it's at the end of the day, it's on God's timing.
Absolutely.
And it took a year before my nerve started to regenerate.
Yeah.
Before I could nudge my foot up at all, and then even to this day, I still can't lift my foot up all the way, brother. Like I got back maybe 80% of it, But at 80%, but at 80%, Jaylon Smith is still better than a lot of, you know what I mean? So
did you have to wear an AFO immediately?
I had to wear an AFO immediately. The first post surgery, and my first year back playing. The full 2017 season, the whole 2017 season, I wore AFO brace.
Got an AFO on. Okay.
And then 2018 season, which was my breakout year, it regenerated enough for me to be able to clear my foot. So all I did was just spat. Take my ankles and then spat.
And that helped enough.
It helped enough to be able to clear.
Okay.
Because in the sport of football, you don't need to be able to dorsiflex it completely.
Sure.
To be able to. So yeah, man. But like I said, that focused vision, really locking in each day, missing out on time, missing out on partying to focus and lock in on what I needed to do to get back. And then the determined belief, which is the second pillar of my core values, if we're relating it to the recovery process, having that determined belief of like, regardless of, I go to the combine and all 32 teams, head doctors are coming to look at my knee and they're like, all shaking their head, like, or right when I got my injury, I got pushed at the end of the play. And as athletes, we're taught to stay off the ground. So I caught myself, whistle blown, pushed me. I caught myself, hyperextended my knee. I get up, can't put my foot down. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, right now, really at this moment. We get to the back. Dr. Rob, team doctor, Dr. Radigan, team doctor. Dr. Radigan's almost crying because he's like, he knows that it's a peroneal nerve.
Yeah, he knows.
He notices it.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm thinking, I just got an ACL. I'm gonna be all right. I'm still gonna go first round. Because Todd Gurley just had a ACL the previous year during the season, end up going first. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be fine. Yeah.
He like, try to lift your foot up. I'm like, I can't lift it up. So all of these different things and outside sources saying, will he ever come back? Will he ever play a down
Yeah.
of NFL football, which I've been working since I was 7 years old to
Yeah.
accomplish this, so, but my belief capacity was through the roof. And having that faith in God that I can do it.
Yeah.
And then earn dreams was just about, which is the last pillar of my core values, is like, how bad do you want it? Like you have to put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what helped me get back, and not only get back, but to have extreme success in the NFL and still going, man. I'm year 9. I'm locked in. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, man, for real.
Yeah. People coming off of injuries, things change as far as, anytime I've come off an injury, maybe I think the game differently or something changes. Talk me through maybe what you learned that first, the year you were out, and then maybe how you had to modify your game even in 2018 or 2017, 2018, your first year actually playing, that, maybe you didn't feel 100% physically, but you had to think differently. The game, had to kind of, you had to think it differently than you would have otherwise. Talk me through some of those adjustments you had to make.
So the year that I was my red shirt year in
Yeah.
the league, because I had to red shirt my rookie year in the
Yep.
NFL because I was recovering. Um, like 4 months later, the Dallas Cowboys drafted me, which is my dad's favorite team. My older brother was actually on the team, so we got
Yeah.
to play uh 3 years, but really 2 years together on the same team. So that was amazing. But my first year in Dallas, I couldn't lift my foot up. So I would have to raise my knee or
Yep.
raise my leg up higher to be able to clear the dragging foot.
Mhm.
Um, so that was something that I had to learn, and then I had to unlearn as I, got some regeneration, nerve regeneration back. And then the AFO brace, man, it went from like being ashamed that I had to wear it, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a guy that's very I love to swag when I'm on the
Yeah.
field. The whole Dion
Absolutely.
thing, look good,
Uh-huh.
play good, all of that good stuff. And having the AFO brace is like, ah,
Yeah.
it's messing up my sauce. But it went from taking that mindset to like embracing it, like this is a part of me. You know what I mean? And the AFO brace helped me. The AFO brace did me wonders.
Yeah.
I embraced it. And once I got to that point, it was just like, this is to help you with
Sure.
with with what you have right now. So rock with it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But my 2017 season back, I was 100%.
Yeah.
But I adopted the mindset of like, what I'm going to do is each week I just want to improve.
Yeah. Sure.
Each week I just want to improve,
Yep.
and I can honestly say I only had one bad game that year,
Sure.
so I was able to learn from it. And then that next season just took off,
Yep.
and got back to form.
In 2018, kind of, the speed of the game slowed down a little bit for you just because you were used to it a little bit more. And obviously your physical performance was a little bit better too, as far as
Yes.
your ability to, get off the block, that type of thing, and as well as, up here. So is that kind of about the right culmination of those two things in 2018?
Yeah, my getting off the block wasn't the issue. It
Okay.
was more about ex- acceleration, deceleration.
Gotcha.
It
Yeah.
was my excel decel.
Yeah.
And then it was the speed of the game of transitioning from being at the peak of college
Yeah.
and then going that whole next season not being able to play football at all.
Yeah.
And then hopping back into the mix and
Yeah.
starting week 1, which I was player of the game week 1.
Yeah.
But it was a night game versus the Giants. But then, obviously the season, it's a 16 games, it was 17 game now, but it's a 16 game season now. Longer season. Fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Absolutely.
And especially with a nerve that's trying to regenerate that is getting held up by an AFO brace, me having to swing my leg to clear my foot at times, the fatigue,
Fatigue.
yeah. But then, like I said, that 2018 season, nerve regenerated more, game slowed down.
You're fit.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then just, man, in the game, especially in the NFL, everybody's elite. Everybody's, for the most part, is at a high level.
Absolutely.
It comes down to execution, both player to coach, coach to player, like all of these different things. And we had some adversity, and we came together and went on a playoff run.
Yeah.
So that was great. That was phenomenal. And then that next off season got my big contract, and it all made sense. Actually, when we lost in the playoffs prior to my contract, I enrolled back into school at Notre Dame to finish my degree. So got my degree. That was a mom's promise. South Bend, it's cold. It's cold.
Absolutely.
It's cold in the winter, man.
Yeah.
So, but it was all worth it for sure.
I got one last thing. I'll let you out of here. I think one of the things I really like about this channel that I'm developing here is, aside from the difficulty or the complexity of the injury or the surgery itself, I think a lot of what I work with from an athlete standpoint is the psychology of it. And that's a big, big part. And, you talking about just having a faith and mentality that just take day by day and trusting God that you'll get to that point eventually. That's tough for a lot of people, and especially, athletes who, I guess it doesn't matter necessarily the level. You have guys in the NFL who go down and, mentally it's hard for them to take that. And then you go down to a 15, 16, 17-year-old, and it can be even harder. So talk through a little bit of, what you worked with psychologically or mentally, and then maybe just give a little bit of a stab at, what advice you would give young kids who are going through an ACL reconstruction, of how, to take it day by day, and, how to get through it from that psychological side of things.
Like, I would say that mental health matters.
Yeah.
It's okay to grieve it initially. It's okay you got to give yourself time to process what has taken place. And then after that, you have to accept it. You have to accept it, And then once you get over that, then you have a clear-eyed view.
Yeah.
Have a clear-eyed view on exactly what you want to do and how you want to grow from it, And like I said, a clear-eyed view is focused vision, determined belief, earned dreams. That is what propelled me to get to where I am today.
Yeah.
In the time where I couldn't play, like I said, I wanted to be an entrepreneur since I was 11 years old. I maximized my time on learning this and, the information.
Yeah.
Getting uncomfortable, sitting in boardrooms,
sure.
Where I couldn't add any value. I didn't know the business terminology, didn't know what an ROI was, what a multiple was, what annuities, all of these different things. I had no idea. But I like to learn from people who have information that I don't know.
Yeah.
Because wisdom matters, So I maximized that extra time that I had on my other endeavors. But the clear-eyed view helped me make sure I understood where I wanted to go, kept my belief capacity, because there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be ebbs and flows, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Process it, accept it, and move on.
Yeah.
And then, but the most important thing is the earned dreams. The most important thing is you have to put in the work to get back.
Yeah.
You know, you have to put in the work to get back. And that's what I would say, like mentally, like when I'm that good. Fiesta Bowl, Notre Dame versus Ohio State, January 1st, 2016. Night before the game, I got $23 to my name. I know I'm about to be a top 3, top 5 pick in the league.
Yep.
That injury occurs. I ended up going the 3rd pick in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
A $17 million difference, you know, like overnight or instant, however you want to name it, you know. So you talk about mental stress, but I had to process it. I had to accept it, you know, and it just helped me get to where I am today. So that's just some of the nuggets I would give for, you know, our community that's going through this, you know, this change and this transition. It's okay. God ain't gonna put you into, he ain't gonna put you into nothing that you can't handle. And I just think that it's greater later. You know, had I gone in the top 3, top 5 pick, it may have delayed my business knowledge and IQ and expertise and you know, creating, you know, cash flow and long-term income, you know, that's going to last longer than, you know, the NFL, which is a short window. You know, that process may have been delayed had I been a top pick, you know, so
everything happens.
You got to take everything with the grain of salt. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's okay. It's worth it though. It is.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's been great hearing you and talking you through not only the injury itself, but you know, the process and the mentality and perspective that you gained from that is fantastic. So I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely, man. Hey, be safe, Mark. I'll talk to you, brother.
Sounds good. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, peace.
Thanks for watching. If you're a physical therapist or other medical professional looking to elevate your ACL rehab practice, visit tornuniversity.com and book a one-on-one consultation where you can speak with me directly about any specific challenges you may face and fine-tune your approach to ACLs. Also be sure to check out my monthly webinar series where I dive deeper into ACL-related topics designed and shaped by your specific needs and questions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification button for more content, interviews, and more. Follow me on social media at Torn University for more daily ACL-related topics. And as always, drop any comments or questions you may have about ACLs, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.